Sherline Johnson, age 35, missing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, since 1997. We're here to discuss her disappearance with her sister Charlotte. Charlotte will be joining us tonight to discuss her sister's disappearance. 26 long years, Charlotte and her family has not had any justice for her sister. Her sister was to visit a friend on that fateful day on May 1st, 1997, and she never returned. Sherline told her family members that she planned to meet a female friend in her hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on May 1st, 1997. She left her residence on Siegel Street and was last seen on either the 2500 block of Washington Street or the 1200 block of South Carlisle Street during the day. Sherline never returned home. Now, that's been 26 years that Sherline has not been seen. 26 years that her mother, her sister, none of her family members know what happened to her. This is another case of a young black woman going missing, and they thought she ran away. She definitely didn't run away. Her family said that. Now, as we await Charlotte's arrival, just going to, just go through some of the pictures and go through some of the things and just talk about Sherline.
Hello?
Charlotte.
Yes.
Hold on, I can hear you a little bit.
A little bit? I don't know why.
I can hear you a little bit.
I don't know why that is.
Is
because
it my end or is it your end?
I don't know.
You
because
can hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you good and everything. And when it, yes.
I don't know what's going on.
When they play,
yeah, you can hear. So I wonder why I can't hear.
I don't know.
Check my settings real quick. Hold on. Let's see what's going on real quick.
Yep.
Okay, I can hear you now, Charlotte. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good as I'm gonna be right
now. Okay, we are here to discuss your sister who's been missing for 26 years.
Yes.
Now, I'll start from the top and basically tell us what happened with your sister.
Okay, well, my sister, she didn't live with family members. She lived with her friend and her family. And they've been living together for a good amount of time. But on May 1st of 97, she got her benefits check. She went to my mom's house on Carlisle Street, where she always would go, to go around to the check cashing place on Broad and Ellsworth. She did all of that. She went back with her girlfriend, Pinky, to Siegel Street, 21st and Siegel, where they shared a house. When she got back there, Pinky's sister, Iris, which was my sister's friend as well, and they hung out together. They went off to see a friend. Iris returned home. Cheryl did not. Okay. When Sherline didn't return home, which everyone knew that Sherline always returned. She just never disappeared on us, no matter what her situation was. So they informed us a couple of days later. And at that time, we were told by the police that, you couldn't file a missing person report because she was an adult and you had to give it about 72 hours, I think it was, which we did. That led us to around about the 5th or the 6th of May. And the police report was filed. We printed flyers, went back to Siegel Street where she lived with her friend. And they were like, she hadn't came back. But at the time when we went back, Iris was there. And Iris said, I know where she is. I'm going to go and get her. So she went off to get her, but she never returned. So we were like, was something strange, but we're going to see what the end of the day brought. Well, the end of the day brought us nothing, and Iris turned up missing. And for until the end of the month of May, somewhere near the end of the month, was when Iris's body was found.
Wow.
And okay. Now, when Iris turned up missing and she hadn't returned home, her mother was told the same thing, that she couldn't make the police report because she was an adult and all of that. And she made the report after that time period had passed. Now, this is two women from the same house that went missing. The police did not connect it in any kind of way. The longest time, my mom and I, we kept going to the police to, talk to the detective, but it was always the run around. They're not here. You got to come back. Oh, he'll be here in an hour. Never show up. They never showed up. No one ever came to talk to her. When they did, they gave her numbers. Well, you can call this number and this person might be able to talk to you. Like I said, meanwhile, time is passing. We get to the end of May. Iris's body is found in the yard of a house. I think it was Beechwood Street, but it's here in South Philly. And okay, they find the body, but at the time they can't identify the body because it's so badly decomposed in summer, warm time. So they do the DNA for both parents, my mom and Iris's. Turns out it's Iris.
Wow.
The guy that killed her, Nick, was the guy that Cheryl went to see. And Nick was also, well, he is the father of Iris's children. And they arrested him for her murder. They convicted him for her murder. But never once was Sherline ever brought up in this conversation as to what took place with Sherline. It wasn't until 2019 when a detective came to talk to me. She called me to talk to me about my sister because she had gotten her case in Special Victims. And when she got the case, she didn't have anything in the file, and she wanted information. But I'm thinking, when she said she didn't have anything in the file, that is just a couple of papers that she may have, because I know they took a report. But when this detective got to my house and opened this folder, there was one sheet of paper with only my sister's name, my mother's address, and her relationship to my sister, and just her date of birth and stuff, and that was it. There was nothing.
So they had nothing in this folder at all, and you filed a report. Wow.
There was nothing in there. There was absolutely nothing in this folder for this officer to work with. And that's when, she was here for quite some time, about maybe 2-3 hours, getting background information and everything so that she could compile a file that, said that this person, had some kind of family relation, what happened, when it happened, and all of that. But this is like 23 years after she had already been missing, and it just, doesn't, it just never seemed right to me or my mom that the connection was never made, that the interest was never taken by the police department to say one woman missing from a home, but two women missing from the same home. One went to look for the other and she turns up dead. And even after she turned up dead, they did nothing.
Wow. They really dropped the ball on this one.
They didn't even pick that ball up.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
about that. You're right. They didn't pick it up. You're right. It
they
seemed that
never
way.
picked that ball up, and they never intended to pick it up. And, after trying so hard, because in the beginning it was really stressful, because we would always get calls from the medical examiner's office, because there were bodies that were being found, females, and you always had to go there. It was just very stressful. And then to come down that road 20 something years later, and the reality to hit me in my face, and this detective come to my house with one piece of paper with hardly anything written on it. That was just like, no, they really never picked this ball up. They never intended to find out what happened to my sister. But my sister, she never, in everything that she's done, she has never disappeared. She's never not been able to be located at any given time. We always knew where Sherline was. If we didn't know where Sherline was, her friends that she lived with, they would always be able to tell us, or we could always go to a certain location and she would be in one of those places. But she never stayed away. And that was
Right.
what we were trying to relay to the police department, that this is not normal. And what people need to understand, that even people who have struggles, drug addicts, whatever their struggle may be, they can have a routine. They can have a routine where they never just walk away, and you not be able to say, well, she's here, she's there. Because just because they have problems, don't put them in a category of, oh, well, wherever they are, they're fine. Well, they take drugs, so they just went off and to do whatever they wanted to do. When you have a family telling you that, yes, she does do these things, but she has never, even in her addiction, has she ever went anywhere where we could not locate her. But the world sees things differently.
So where does the case stand now?
Cole,
Cold.
no one's
Wow.
really working on it. They do have another detective that's supposed to be working in SUV on the case, but it's very hard for me to get in contact with him. And I do become very frustrated with trying to, call and make that contact. And it's always, oh, he's not here. Oh, you have to call back tomorrow. Oh, well, out in the field, and all of those type things, which I do know things happen, but you never get a return phone call. I leave my name, my number, I get nothing.
Still being abused by the justice system. That's crazy.
But it's it's just so hard, period, when it comes down to having someone missing, and you're trying to get your point across to people that this is not the behavior that this person distributes. They do not do this. They don't disappear. Everyone wants us to believe that she went off and she married some rich person, or how do you know that this didn't happen? She would never have done that. She
Yes.
would never have done that and not let us know that this is what she intended to do. And wherever my sister, whatever happened to her, because honestly, we have long given up on the fact that she is still alive, because my sister just she wouldn't be gone
Right.
this long.
Right.
So this is so out of character for her to, and I don't believe that Iris lost her life because she was going to come back and tell us good news.
She lost her life because she knew that Nikki killed her. That's what it was.
Exactly. Okay. And he's now deceased. So
Right.
there's no way of me, trying to make a connection with him in any kind of way, and, put out a plea or anything, because he passed away. So I don't know which way to turn on any of this. So I've been using social media to keep this story alive as much
And
as
we actually
possible.
have somebody in the comments that has some connections, and I'm gonna get with her, and we are gonna get together, and we're gonna work on this case some more. If you probably read the comments, is she's frustrated for your family. We definitely offline gonna get a hold of her and see what we can do, about Charlene case, get a hold of this detective, hold these people accountable. I mean, I know we might got a long road ahead of us, but it'll be worth it, At least
Yeah,
in this,
absolutely. And
at
I'll
least
take
in this.
the help.
I know you do. I know you do, and
Yeah.
that's why. That's the main reason why I do these videos. To try to give people help, and it's always somebody listening or watching. That's willing to help out. But I did want to say we're going to cut this broadcast short, and I would like to do a part 2 with you tomorrow, if possible.
Okay.
Let's do that. This has been part 1 of the Sherline Johnson story. We're going to do part 2 tomorrow, and Charlotte, thank you for coming on, and we will definitely be getting back with you and talking to you. I'll hit your inbox to set up part 2 tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. You have a good night.
All right. You as well.